Hi, Phil here from nowspinning.co.uk. This is an album I wanted to reflect on for quite a while, and it's David Coverdale's Whitesnake from 1977, May 1977 in fact, which is when Hole in the Sky was released as a single. But if you're in the UK, the chance of you finding that single was incredibly slim. In fact, now it's easier to find a promo version of it than an actual real pressing. I've done a video on Come Taste the Band, and as Deep Purple ground to a halt in '76, David Coverdale must have felt that he was being left behind. I mean, there was so much stuff coming out. Tommy Bolin had released Private Eyes, John Lord, Saraband, Rainbow, Rising, even Purple. The recycled machine was starting with Made in Europe. And of course, Ian Gillan with Child in Time. So it must have felt that for David that he was being left behind. I mean, you know, Glenn Hughes was not that far behind with Play Me Out, and Roger Glover was still active as well. But I remember, of all the members, when I heard that Coverdale was going to do a solo album, it was the one that I looked forward to the most. There was something about his tone of his voice and his lyrics, and the fact, you know, all those photographs of Purple towards the end in their jets and their limos, they were like the archetypal rock and roll stars, really. So I think I really wanted to know what Coverdale would do next. The other thing about the 70s is that when anyone did a solo album, you didn't expect them to do what they'd done before. So even though I knew that Coverdale was doing this solo album, I didn't expect it to be purplish in any way. But I remember getting it from Virgin Records in Birmingham and picking it up, and it's got this kind of textured sleeve, a bit like Fireball. And I think it look so young there. It was just an incredible sleeve and everything. And then on the inside, there were these live pictures, obviously taken from his time in Deep Purple, but he looked like a star, and he looked like a rock and roll star, didn't he? And it was obviously still on the Purple label as well. So you kind of felt that it was still part of, you know, the same family, if you like. But musically, it was very different. But for the Deep Purple Train Spotters, of which I was a full signed-up member, and the fact that Roger Glover had helped out kind of again kept this Purple-esque family thing going. And it was a different kind of album. Lady was lyrically the kind of thing that Coverdale had been writing about, Ladies of the Night. I'm going to miss the next track out for a reason. Goldie's Place, similar, quite funky. Whitesnake was an out-and-out rocker, and who knew that this was going to be the name of his band at that time. Time on My Side was probably the most purplish track on there, and I think there is talk that it was actually earmarked for the follow-up Deep Purple album. But I'm not sure whether that just means lyrics, because obviously Mickey Moody helped him write that. Peace Loving Man and Sunny Days, they'd actually rehearsed with Tommy Bolin, because you can hear that on the rehearsal tapes. Hole in the Sky is a perfect ballad, and to hear Coverdale sing like that was the first time, so that was really good. And Celebration, a party type track. I do think that the production of this was a bit muddy in places, but I've missed one track out because I think it's one of the best things that Coverdale ever laid down, and why I think this and Northwinds, which I'll cover in a future video, are his best ever statements in music. And the track is Blindman, which he did recover on the Ready and Willing album with Whitesnake. And as wonderful as that version is, it is nowhere near the version that is on this solo album. I don't know why, but when my wife first heard this song, she said, "Oh, it sounds like Be My Friend by Free." And it does. But I never noticed it. And I'm a massive Free fan. To me, they were like different things, but I can understand now that there is a similarity. But I think Blindman and the lyrics and the delivery, whether it's because when I heard this I was still in my teens, But I really kind of reflected on this. You know, I'm dreaming of the past. Why do good times never last? Help me, Jesus, show the way. I can hold on another day. I was hungry, feeling low, just couldn't make out which way to go. Chasing rainbows that have no end. Classic lines, aren't they, really? The road is long without a friend. And then it was, be my friend, be my brother, be the piper, play the call, across the 7 seas of wonder, be the guardian of my soul. These are great kind of fantasy type lyrics from a rock star from the 70s. Just a young man looking homeward, watching the sun go down again. Across the water the sun is shining, but will it ever be the same? And when it comes to that bit at the end, when the kind of "you really got me" type guitar riff comes in the background, and he starts to really push his emotive vocal about saying needs a woman, needs a friend. You believe him, don't you? And if you were kind of on your own in those days, you think, this is how I feel. I wish I could meet somebody. I just think it's a fantastic song. He does, towards the end of the song, he does this kind of phrasing which he did at the end of Stormbringer on Made in Europe, which he did a few times. And it's just the power and tone of his voice, really. And there's a huge cast of people on here: Coverdale, Mickey Moody, Tim Hinckley, Simon Phillips, who obviously a fantastic session drummer. In the 70s, he was everywhere. And of course, the same year that this came out, he was doing Sin Out Sing with Judas Priest. And Roger Glover, as I've said, Lisa Strike, Helen Chappell, Barry St. John. And I think he was in quite a dark place when he did this, and whether it was because he also worked on Northwinds at the same time. So Northwinds, by the time this came out, Northwinds was already in the can, which many people see as a much stronger album, and they're right. It is classic and one of Coverdale's best albums. But I have a soft spot for this, and it all radiates from the track Blindman. CD versions, I really hope that one day he gets the rights back and he can really do a proper job on this, is this version, which is Connoisseur Records, which I'll cut away from now so you can see the little booklet. I mean, there's not that much in the booklet to write home about at all, but there's a couple of clippings of adverts and things from music papers like Sounds and maybe Melody Maker, a shot of the demo, and as I mentioned, so a demo version of A Hole in the Sky, Japanese cover. It does come with 2 bonus tracks, and they're basically just different takes of tracks that made the album, which is Peace Loving Man Take 1 and Sunny Days Take 1 as well. But it's really good. Simon Robinson was involved in that, and Connoisseur have also released the Northwinds one. So that's probably the best CD version to get at the moment. Let's hope that something happens in the future. So that is the first Whitesnake album, first solo album by David Coverdale, just simply called David Coverdale's Whitesnake from 1977. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to make sure you don't miss out on any other videos. And if you'd like to support me further, please head out to the link at the end of this video and maybe become a patron and support me from there. And also on Patreon now, there is a new series which is exclusive to patrons only, called Phil's Musical Memories. So thank you very much. I really appreciate the support, and I'll look forward to seeing you on the next video. Thank you.